Hello, and thank you for joining us this morning for our Economic Outlook State of Recovery Summit. I'm your host, Colin Diaz, and when I'm not hosting Economic Outlooks, I'm also the president and CEO of the Culver City Chamber of Commerce, where I've had the honor of serving for the past 3 years. I'm very excited about today's event and look forward to sharing the 2020 State of the Chamber address to kick us off. But before I go any further, let me thank and acknowledge our sponsors for making today's event possible. Thank you to our bronze sponsors, Culver City Education Foundation, Send Out Cards, and Cycle Bar Culver City. Our silver sponsors, AT&T, Helms Bakery District, and the Culver Studios. And our gold sponsors, Hilton Los Angeles Culver City, Film LA, Southern California Edison, and Kaiser Permanente. Our platinum sponsors, Cedars Sinai, Amazon Studios, and Sony Pictures Entertainment, and of course, our presenting sponsor, Optimum Seismic. All of your sponsorship has allowed us to deliver today's event. I have to say, the pandemic and all that it's meant to our business community has been completely devastating. As a chamber, we immediately sprang into triage mode, assessing the immediate impact the pandemic has had on our business community early on, as well as provide funding sources, relevant webinars, and strategic partnerships. In fact, the very first Monday of the pandemic, we partnered with City Manager John Nachbar and Culver City Mayor Göran Eriksson to form our COVID-19 Business Roundtable, which at the time was a weekly occurrence, an all-comers stakeholder meeting where we provided City Council, City of Culver City, and Chamber of Commerce updates. To date, we've hosted 27 of these such meetings and have done everything in our power to keep our business community up to date with the latest policies, resources, and orders. On the advocacy side, we've doubled down on our normal efforts, expanded our outreach, and joined the California Coalition for Safe Reopening, as well as the Save Small Business Coalition, both geared around aiding businesses through the pandemic and fighting for the support and policies that we so desperately need. On the event and programming side, we hosted events that struck a balance of timeliness and relevance, including our Women in Business Speaker Series, COVID-19 Health and Wellness seminars, our PPP and EIDL informational sessions, as well as our Decoding the Defund the Police movement. On top of that, we added tweaked marquee events like our Women in Business Leadership Luncheon, which this year had representatives from 5 states, the United States, Canada, Mexico, South Africa, Australia, Vietnam, Italy, Scotland, and England in our virtual format, and was our first international hosted event. Additionally, through these virtual offerings, we were able to offer and provide business communities with outlets and insight to the issues that matter most to them. Though things have slowed in our business community, we still welcome many new businesses to our chamber family and continue to support our current investment core. There's no getting around this. This year has been beyond tough, even to the point of closures for some. And we've all felt those closures and loss of business in our community. As we've learned through the pandemic, things are very fluid and rapidly changing, and we continue to pivot to meet those needs on a daily basis of the changing environment. We are equally frustrated with the continually moving goalpost, the opening and closing that has taken place throughout the past 8 months. We empathize with the strain that it has caused on business owners, employees, and their families. I know that with each round of closures, we lose another piece of our business community for good. It's a hard truth to bear, but we all must face it and commit to support our local community, our local business community, the same way they've supported Culver City for years. Now, as I look to the future, we are reminded that there are better times ahead. The pandemic, as bad as it has been, will pass. The difficult work of rebuilding will begin and be upon us. But let's not lose the lessons the efficiencies and strengths that we've gained from the trying times. The chamber is about to be 100. I'll say that again. The chamber is about to be 100 years old. Let that sink in for a moment. That means that we've seen the Great Depression, multiple wars, the dot-com bust, the Great Recession, and now this. And the one thing that has always been true, the chamber will endure. We endure because of all of you. So as I close these remarks on the state of the chamber, I'll leave you with this. As a catalyst of business growth and expansion, we will make good on that commitment and be a catalyst of recovery and rebound. As a connector of people, ideas, and resources, we will continue to align relevant content, thought leaders, and solution providers. And as a champion for strong community, we will continue to be the leading voice of business for decades to come. Thank you again to all of you, our members, for being loyal and for leaning on the chamber, and also for supporting me through my first 3 years as your president and CEO. I look forward to working with all of you in the future and through the closeout of the centennial and for many years to come. With that, I'll turn it over to 2020 Board Chair, Kristen Cavanaugh with Sony Pictures Entertainment. Kristen?
Thank you, Colin. It's great to join all of you this morning. And as Colin mentioned, I'm Kristen Cavanaugh with Sony Pictures Entertainment, and I've had the pleasure of serving as the 2020 Board Chair this year. What a year it's been. I'm not sure any of us know how to actually describe it, but I've been extremely proud of the Chamber this year, the work we've been able to accomplish, and the opportunity to provide relevant information and content like we are today. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jeffrey Smith with Cedars-Sinai. Dr. Jeffrey Smith is the Executive Vice President of Hospital Operations and Chief Operating Officer of the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center and Cedars-Sinai Marina Del Rey Hospital. His responsibilities include developing and implementing systems for maintaining the highest level of quality service, building service line capabilities, supporting staff competencies and engagement, and maintaining strong financial performance. He collaborates with faculty leaders and medical staff to ensure the delivery of effective and efficient healthcare services in alignment with Cedars-Sinai's research and education missions. One could say that in the midst of the pandemic, Dr. Smith's work in supporting his frontline staff is of the utmost importance. So I'm exceptionally grateful that he was able to carve out time from those responsibilities to join us today. With that, please help me in welcoming Dr. Jeffrey A. Smith.
Thanks so much for the introduction, Kristen. And thank you to the Culver City Chamber team and Board of Directors for your steadfast leadership during such challenging times for our business community and community at large. I am happy to join you today as we discuss the region's economic outlook and look ahead to the future. Before I introduce Culver City's Honorable Mayor, Goran Eriksson, I wanted to take a few moments to share a little bit about Cedars-Sinai with all of you. For over 100 years, Cedars-Sinai has served as a critical healthcare resource for the Los Angeles region. We have made major investments in our resources and people to provide patients the highest quality medical care. Our dedication to excellent care and community is always important, but more so during unprecedented crises like the one we are facing today with COVID-19. We have been proud members of the Culver City Chamber for over 5 years, and since then have been thrilled to expand our footprint in the city by opening our doors to an urgent care and a family practice facility off of Culver Boulevard. Culver City sits right between both our main medical campus in Los Angeles, West Hollywood, and Marina Del Rey Hospital that we are rebuilding with goals to provide technologically advanced and enhanced community-level emergency and medical services. While the current hospital will remain operational during construction, we hope to open doors to this new hospital in 2025. As the country faces its 9th month of the COVID-19 pandemic, we can share that Cedars-Sinai physicians, nurses, pharmacists, respiratory therapists, and other healthcare professionals have treated nearly 1,400 hospitalized COVID-19 patients just at our main medical campus. In these months, we have also treated more than 24,000 non-COVID-19 patients at our main medical center, performing medically necessary surgeries and transplants, delivering babies, and helping others manage conditions such as diabetes and cancer. Because of careful planning and management of resources, Cedars-Sinai has the beds and staff necessary to care for patients and is ready for surges as they occur. In addition to our facilities and the critical patient care activities that are happening within our walls, Cedars-Sinai is proudly fulfilling its mission to be an active and impactful partner in the community, particularly in the areas of critical need. In the last year, we have partnered with and contributed to many amazing nonprofit service providers in and around Culver City in the areas of access to care, homelessness, mental health, civic engagement, and COVID-19 rapid response. We have been able to support the tremendous efforts of the Achievable Foundation, Westside Family Health Center, Open Paths Counseling, D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services, Venice Family Clinic, St. Joseph Center, Culver Palms Family YMCA, and the Feed Culver Community Initiative, among other essential organizations in the region who are tirelessly trying to meet complex, urgent needs caring for our most vulnerable community members. As such, it is very clear that we can't face extraordinary challenges without extraordinary partners. We are lucky to call Culver City home, and home not just to our facilities, but home to Cedars-Sinai employees, volunteers, and patients. Thank you for welcoming us with open arms. We are appreciative of our continued partnership. With that, representing this wonderful city, it is my pleasure to introduce you all to the Honorable Mayor of Culver City, Goran Erickson. A little bit about Goran. Goran Erickson was elected to the City Council of the City of Culver City in April 2016, and he currently serves as mayor. Notably, Mayor Erickson was just recently re-elected to the City Council during the city's 2020 municipal elections. Congratulations! During his first term on the City Council, he served on various renowned organizations, including the California Independent Cities Association, the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee for the National League of Cities. He was also co-chair of the National League of Cities Aviation Subcommittee. Prior to his election in 2016, Goran was active in serving the community by sitting on various important city and school district advisory committees. As a businessman and entrepreneur, Erickson has been involved in international sales, marketing, and business development for over 30 years, currently serving as the chairman and CFO for an international business development consultancy, ESI TechTrans Incorporated, that he founded in 1987. Community engagement is at the center of Erickson's commitments to Culver City. He has given back by supporting the Swedish American Chamber of Commerce, our very own Culver City Chamber as past president and member, the Board of Trustees of Lund University Foundation, Inc., and Culver City Exchange Club. He has been married to his wife, Britta, for more than 30 years, and they have two sons, Philip and Nicholas, who grew up in Culver City. Let's welcome Mayor Goran Erickson to the virtual stage.
Greetings, Culver City Chamber members, elected officials, city staff, and guests. Thank you to the Chamber for organizing this thought-provoking and productive summit, and for inviting me to speak today. As your mayor, I'm honored to present this year's State of the City Address. I've been mayor during the last 7 months that have been some of the most difficult our city has ever faced. We have all wrestled with the pandemic in our own ways, but tragically, COVID-19 has claimed the lives of 34 Culver City residents. These were friends, mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters. They left behind loved ones who will forever have a hole in their hearts. This virus brings sorrow in its wake around the globe. On behalf of the city, I send our condolences to the friends and family of those who have passed away. But we cannot let their deaths be in vain. They should be a reminder and a constant warning to all of us to do what I have said many times in my mayor's video updates. Please wash your hands, stay home as much as possible, and wear a mask when you are outside, among others. In the midst of all this chaos brought about by the pandemic, I have special gratitude for our city employees who have worked so hard to staff our Emergency Operations Center, spending long hours to ensure that our city remains ready and able to handle whatever is thrown our way next. Many of our employees have been able to transition seamlessly to work from home, thanks in no small part to the heroic efforts of our IT department. But many of our staff are leaving the safety of their home and working at the office every day throughout the course of this pandemic. All members of the city family deserve commendation during this time, and I especially like to thank those who are truly serving on the front lines. Thank you to our firefighters responding to calls for help day and night, proactively working with and educating our businesses to implement new health and safety practices. Thank you to our police officers who, despite working under more pressure than ever before, display professionalism in keeping us safe day in and day out, especially as our community experienced both peaceful demonstrations and dealt with looting following the tragic death of George Floyd. Our officers were compassionate, effective, and professional in a way that should be a model for police departments across the nation. Thank you for setting the bar so high and for protecting our community every day. Thank you also to our Parks, Recreation and Community Service staff, working tirelessly to provide food assistance and social support to our seniors and others in need, and keeping park patrons safe as they get outdoors. Thank you to our bus drivers. Even as COVID spreads through the community, they continue to make the best municipal bus line in the country safe, efficient and reliable, and ensure that everyone using public transportation can get to work and put food on the table for their families. Our bus system has demonstrated incredible resilience during this time. We led the charge in creating a hybrid service in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and we were one of the first agencies in the region to implement rear door boarding to keep both customers and operators safe. And I want to thank our sanitation drivers who work hard every day to ensure that the trash and recycling is collected from our residents and businesses. These are just some examples of the many, many ways in which city employees go the extra mile, make personal and professional sacrifice, and step up to the challenges we face. I wish I could thank each and every one of the hundreds of city employees by name. But specifically, I want to thank our city manager, John Nackbar, our acting police chief, Manny Sid, and our fire chief, Ken Powell, for working around the clock for nearly 7 months straight and for leading staff during this exceptional time. Your guidance, leadership, and professionalism is extraordinary to watch, and our city is better because of your efforts. While there have been many challenges in the face of this pandemic, COVID-19 has also revealed the multiple ways in which our community shines. We have seen neighbors helping neighbors like never before, and I'm so proud of how this community has come together to meet the needs of those who are most vulnerable. Feed Culver is a powerful example of public-private partnerships cooperating together to respond to a disaster. As COVID-19 wreaked havoc on the economy, more and more Culver City families became food insecure, wondering where the next meal was coming from. At the same time, stay-at-home orders have been disastrous for local restaurants. The Exchange Club Charitable Foundation, Culver City Chamber of Commerce, Downtown Business Association, and the city joined efforts with Grace Diner at Grace Lutheran Church to provide meals to food-insecure families. Meals purchased from Culver City restaurants who desperately needed the business to keep their doors open. To date, more than 26,000 meals have been served by community volunteers at Grace Diner. It is an impressive effort, representative of what the Culver City community stands for. This is what makes us special. This is why I'm so proud to serve as mayor. When faced with a challenge, we put our differences aside, come together, and simply get the job done. Right now, CERT, the Community Emergency Response Teams, made up of community volunteers, are delivering food and medicine to seniors in need. Partnerships are being formed between groups that before the pandemic really didn't interact, and new lines of communication are helping our city respond faster than ever before. These partnerships have also resulted in the city's Economic Recovery Task Force, another great example of how we have worked together to respond to disaster. We established the task force early in the course of the pandemic with the aim of spurring an economic recovery in the wake of COVID-19. That group has grown to more than 50 businesses, property owners, and residents, helping to guide our recovery efforts. Through regular meetings and an extensive survey, we learned the needs of the business community and developed strategies, policies, and programs designed to help. One of the newest initiatives to come out of the Economic Recovery Task Force is the Choose Culver City Buy Local campaign, which the city launched at the end of November. Through social media posts, lawn signs, window posters, and more, we encourage residents to think local first and choose Culver City when shopping, ordering food, or seeking services. In this small way, every Culver City resident can help keep our local businesses afloat. If you haven't already, I encourage you to consider signing up as a Buy Local ambassador on the city's website. Out of all the programs the city has rolled out in response to COVID-19 during my time as mayor, the program I'm most proud of is the city's Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Through this program, which began in August, the City Housing Division offers 12-month rental assistance or 3-month rental catch-up to residents who are impacted by COVID-19 and meet income requirements. So far, we are assisting 11 families and individuals with a 3-month catch-up program and 58 individuals and families with a 12-month program. These programs not only provide a lifeline for our residents struggling to stay in their homes, but also rental income for our landlords, many of whom are small mom and pops who need the revenue they get from their rental units to put food on their own tables every month. Another effort of which I'm extraordinarily proud is the way in which we have improved our public transportation system, even in the face of the pandemic. We have an incredible transportation department, and that's not just my opinion. In November, the California Transit Association recognized our transportation department as the 2020 Distinguished Transit Agency of the Year. This award recognizes a transit agency that has demonstrated an outstanding program or service that implements innovative concepts, effective problem-solving techniques, or promotes a positive image of transit in the community. Our department, under the leadership of Chief Transportation Officer Rolando Cruz, has made great strides this year. We launched a new real-time information app, Next CC Bus, which you can download now to plan your trip, find out stop times at each bus stop, and get real-time information on the location of all of our buses. We installed 74 LED real-time information signs at bus stops citywide. We implemented a new bus-only lane on Culver Boulevard in conjunction with a move to outdoor dining. We accomplished a lot during the past 7 months, even during a worldwide pandemic. But there are significant challenges and ambitious goals that lie ahead, some of which I've already talked about. So many of our challenges require the implementation of long-term solutions: transportation, housing, homelessness, education, and as a necessary base, the fiscal health of our city. We must not lose sight of the long-term goals for the city. The 2028 Olympics will be held in Los Angeles. LAX is in the midst of a massive overhaul that will see this region attract more travelers than ever. And Silicon Beach continues to grow by leaps and bounds, attracting new investments, jobs, and of course, people to our area. The update to the city's General Plan 2045, is our best opportunity to guide long-term improvements to every aspect of our community: economy, transportation, housing, safety, and mitigating climate change over the next 25 years. To achieve the community vision for the future, based on the feedback we received as a city, we will establish general plan policies and actions that will, without a doubt, include some truly ambitious goals. By coming together, Culver City residents and businesses can achieve the impossible. If you would like to learn more, the city has incorporated the vision, values, and principles in the draft community vision, core values, and guiding principles document, which summarizes our community's aspirations and priorities as voiced by the community over the last year. You have one more day to submit feedback on the draft document. You can post your comments, suggestions, and more at pictureculvercity.com. Comments are due on December 10th. But as we turn one eye to the future, our more immediate challenges are to rebuild, recover, and restore our community. There is still a great deal of work to be done. The pandemic is far from over. We don't know how well the coming vaccine will work or how many people will take them. We don't know the economic damage that has occurred or the social implication that will be left behind. But I take solace in the fact that the only thing a disaster cannot destroy is hope. Hope for the future, hope for our neighbors, and hope for a better Culver City. During the past 7 months, I've seen the hope firsthand. I've seen it in the eyes of food insecure families, knowing that they could get a warm meal from a volunteer thanks to Feed Culver. I've seen it in the way our first responders work tirelessly to keep Culver City safe. And I've seen it in the eyes of young people throughout our community who look to all of us to show them the way during this truly unprecedented time. The pandemic is awful. It takes lives and robs us of time spent with those we love. But it also brings us closer. It reminds us how important the little things are. A hug from a loved one, a meal at our favorite restaurant, and even the ability to enjoy a Saturday evening at the movies. I am hopeful that as we put the pandemic in the rear-view mirror, we will take with us the memory of how easily and how quickly things can be taken away from us. I hope that we hug a little longer, that we spend a little more time enjoying that drink with friends, and that we remember those in our city whose hard work and sacrifice make our lives better. It has been a great honor to serve as your mayor, and I look forward to serving Culver City for 4 more years on the City Council. Today, I wish you all a very happy and safe holiday season, and I look forward to a new year filled with health, happiness, and hope. Thank you, Culver City.
Thank you, Mayor, for your State of the City address and your steadfast leadership during this pandemic. Your efforts have been greatly appreciated by the business community and Culver City population as a whole. My name is Cedric Joins, financial services professional with New York Life and the 2021 chair of the Chamber Board. We're excited to have you join us here today and hope you enjoy this summit. At this time, I have the pleasure of sharing how the breakout sessions will work. To the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see the Sessions button. This will allow you to join a session and listen in to our panel of experts discuss the industry, challenge, and forecast for the future. We have a total of 6 35-minute sessions that will run in 3 sessions. So you'll need to choose between 2 breakouts per session. Don't worry though, we're recording all of the sessions and they'll be made available to all attendees after the event. So if there are 2 you want to listen into, you can listen to it later. The first session starts shortly after this from 9:45 to 10:20 a.m. and will be your choice between Restaurant and Retail Reimagined or Entertainment and the Creative Economy. Session 2, which runs from 10:25 to 11 a.m., allows you to choose between Health, Wellness in the Future or Hospitality and Tourism Rebound. Finally, for session 3, which runs from 11:05 to 11:40 a.m., you'll be able to choose between Connectivity and Technology Post-Pandemic or Culver City Pandemic Recovery, General Plan Update, and Development. All of these sessions will be great, but be sure to return back to the stage after these sessions so that you can hear from our last keynote of the day, Kevin Clouden, who will be delivering our economic outlook. See you soon, and remember to visit the Expo booths in any free time you might have. Don't forget, first session starts at 9:45.